of documentary evidence. 56. Proof of contents of documents. The contents of documents may be proved either by primary or by secondary evidence. 57. Primary evidence. Primary evidence means the document itself produced for the inspection of the court. Explanation 1. Where a document is executed in several parts, each part is primary evidence of the document. Explanation 2. Where a document is executed in counterpart, each counterpart being executed by one or some of the parties only, each counterpart is primary evidence as against the parties executing it. Explanation 3. Where a number of documents are all made by one uniform process, as in the case of printing, lithography or photography, each is primary evidence of the contents oftenest, but where they are all copies of a common original, they are not primary evidence of the contents of the original. Explanation 4. Where an electronic or digital record is created or stored, and such storage occurs simultaneously or sequentially in multiple files, each such file is primary evidence. Explanation 5. Where an electronic or digital record is produced from proper custody, such electronic and digital record is primary evidence unless it is disputed. Explanation 6. Where a video recording is simultaneously stored in electronic form and transmitted or broadcast or transferred to another, each of the stored recordings is primary evidence. Explanation 7. Where an electronic or digital record is stored in multiple storage spaces in a computer resource, each such automated storage, including temporary files, is primary evidence. Illustration. A person is shown to have been in possession of a number of placards, all printed at one time from one original. Any one of the placards is primary evidence of the contents of any other, but no one of them is primary evidence of the contents of the original. Where a document is executed in counterpart, each counterpart being executed by one or some of the parties only, each counterpart is primary evidence as against the parties executing it. Explanation 2. Where a number of documents are all made by one uniform process, as in the case of printing, lithography or photography, each is primary evidence of the contents of the rest, but where they are all copies of a common original, they are not primary evidence of the contents of the original. 58. Secondary evidence. Secondary evidence includes I. Certified copies given under the provisions hereinafter contained. E. Copies made from the original by mechanical processes which in themselves ensure the accuracy of the copy, and copies compared with such copies. E. Copies made from or compared with the original. IV. Counterparts of documents as against the parties who did not execute them. V. Oral accounts of the contents of a document given by some person who has himself seen it. V. Oral admissions. V. Written admissions. V. Evidence of a person who has examined a document, the original of which consists of numerous accounts or other documents which cannot conveniently be examined in court, and who is skilled in the examination of such documents. Illustrations. A photograph of an original is secondary evidence of its contents, though the two have not been compared, if it is proved that the thing photographed was the original. B. A copy compared with a copy of a letter made by a copying machine is secondary evidence of the contents of the letter. If it is shown that the copy made by the copying machine was made from the original. C. A copy transcribed from a copy, but afterwards compared with the original, is secondary evidence, but the copy not so compared is not secondary evidence of the original. Although the copy from which it was transcribed was compared with the original. D. Neither an oral account of a copy compared with the original, nor an oral account of a photograph or machine copy of the original, is secondary evidence of the original. 59. Proof of documents by primary evidence. Documents shall be proved by primary evidence except in the cases hereinafter mentioned. 60. Cases in which secondary evidence relating to documents may be given. Secondary evidence may be given of the existence, condition, or contents of a document in the following cases, namely: a. When the original is shown or appears to be in the possession or power I. of the person against whom the document is sought to be proved, or e. of any person out of reach of, or not subject to, the process of the court, or e. of any person legally bound to produce it, and when, after the notice mentioned in section 64, such person does not produce it. B. When the existence, condition or contents of the original have been proved to be admitted in writing by the person against whom it is proved or by his representative in interest. C. When the original has been destroyed or lost, or when the party offering evidence of its contents cannot, for any other reason not arising from his own default or neglect, produce it in reasonable time. D. When the original is of such a nature as not to be easily movable. A. When the original is a public document within the meaning of section 74. F. When the original is a document of which a certified copy is permitted by this Adhiniyam, or by any other law in force in India to be given in evidence. G. When the originals consist of numerous accounts or other documents which cannot conveniently be examined in court, and the fact to be proved is the general result of the whole collection. Explanation. For the purposes of I. clauses A, C, and D, any secondary evidence of the contents of the document is admissible. E. Clause B. The written admission is admissible. E. Clause A, or F. A certified copy of the document, but no other kind of secondary evidence, is admissible. IV. Clause G. Evidence may be given as to the general result of the documents by any person who has examined them, and who is skilled in the examination of such document. 61. Electronic or digital record. Nothing in this Adhiniyam shall apply to deny the admissibility of an electronic or digital record in the evidence on the ground that it is an electronic or digital record, and such record shall, subject to section 63, have the same legal effect, validity and enforceability as other document. 62. Special provisions as to evidence relating to electronic record. The contents of electronic records may be proved in accordance with the provisions of section 63. 63. Admissibility of electronic records. 1. Notwithstanding anything contained in this Adhiniyam, any information contained in an electronic record which is printed on paper, stored, recorded or copied in optical or magnetic media or semiconductor memory which is produced by a computer or any communication device or otherwise stored, recorded or copied in any electronic form, hereinafter referred to as the computer output, shall be deemed to be also a document. If the conditions mentioned in this section are satisfied in relation to the information and computer in question and shall be admissible in any proceedings. Without further proof or production of the original, as evidence or any contents of the original or of any fact stated therein of which direct evidence would be admissible. 2. The conditions referred to in subsection 1, in respect of a computer output shall be the following, namely: a. The computer output containing the information was produced by the computer or communication device during the period over which the computer or communication device was used regularly to create, store or process information for the purposes of any activity regularly carried on over that period by the person having lawful control over the use of the computer or communication device. b. During the said period, information of the kind contained in the electronic record or of the kind from which the information so contained is derived was regularly fed into the computer or communication device in the ordinary course of the said activities. c. Throughout the material part of the said period, the computer or communication device was operating properly or, if not, then in respect of any period in which it was not operating properly or was out of operation during that part of the period, was not such as to affect the electronic record or the accuracy of its contents, and d. The information contained in the electronic record reproduces or is derived from such information fed into the computer or communication device in the ordinary course of the said activities. 3. Where over any period, the function of creating, storing or processing information for the purposes of any activity regularly carried on over that period as mentioned in clause a of subsection 2, was regularly performed by means of one or more computers or communication device, whether a. in standalone mode, or b. on a computer system, or c. on a computer network, or d. on a computer resource enabling information creation or providing information processing and storage, or a. through an intermediary. All the computers or communication devices used for that purpose during that period shall be treated for the purposes of this section as constituting a single computer or communication device. And references in this section to a computer or communication device shall be construed accordingly. 4. In any proceeding where it is desired to give a statement in evidence by virtue of this section, a certificate doing any of the following things shall be submitted along with the electronic record at each instance where it is being submitted for admission, namely: a. Identifying the electronic record containing the statement and describing the manner in which it was produced. b. giving such particulars of any device involved in the production of that electronic record as may be appropriate for the purpose of showing that the electronic record was produced by a computer or a communication device referred to in clauses A to A of subsection 3. C. Dealing with any of the matters to which the conditions mentioned in subsection 2 relate, and purporting to be signed by a person in charge of the computer or communication device or the management of the relevant activities, whichever is appropriate, and an expert shall be evidence of any matter stated in the certificate. And for the purposes of this subsection it shall be sufficient for a matter to be stated to the best of the knowledge and belief of the person stating it in the certificate specified in the schedule. 5. For the purposes of this section, information shall be taken to be supplied to a computer or communication device if it is supplied thereto in any appropriate form and whether it is so supplied directly or, with or without human intervention, by means of any appropriate equipment. B. A computer output shall be taken to have been produced by a computer or communication device, whether it was produced by it directly or, with or without human intervention, by means of any appropriate equipment or by other electronic means is referred to in clauses A to A of subsection 3. 64. Rules as to notice to produce secondary evidence of the contents of the documents referred to in clause A of section 60 shall not be given unless the party proposing to give such secondary evidence has previously given to the party in whose possession or power the document is, or to his advocate or representative, such notice to produce it as is prescribed by law, and if no notice is prescribed by law, then such notice as the court considers reasonable under the circumstances of the case, provided that such notice shall not be required in order to render secondary evidence admissible in any of the following cases, or in any other case in which the court thinks fit to dispense with it. A. When the document to be proved is itself a notice. B. When, from the nature of the case, the adverse party must know that he will be required to produce it. C. When it appears or is proved that the adverse party has obtained possession of the original by fraud or force. D. When the adverse party or his agent has the original in court. A. When the adverse party or his agent has admitted the loss of the document. F. When the person in possession of the document is out of reach of, or not subject to, the process of the court. Adverse party must know that he will be required to produce it. 3. When it appears or is proved that the adverse party has obtained possession of the original by fraud or force. 4. When the adverse party or his agent has the original in court. 5. When the adverse party or his agent has admitted the loss of the document. 6. When the person in possession of the document is out of reach of, or not subject to, the process of the court. 65. Proof of signature and handwriting of person alleged to have signed a written document produced if a document is alleged to be signed or to have been written wholly or in part by any person. The signature or the handwriting of so much of the document as is alleged to be in that person's handwriting must be proved to be in his handwriting. 66. Proof as to electronic signature. Except in the case of a secure electronic signature, if the electronic signature of any subscriber is alleged to have been affixed to an electronic record, the fact that such electronic signature is the electronic signature of the subscriber must be proved. 67. Proof of execution of document required by law to be attested. If a document is required by law to be attested, it shall not be used as evidence until one attesting witness at least has been called for the purpose of proving its execution. If there be an attesting witness alive, and subject to the process of the court and capable of giving evidence, provided that it shall not be necessary to call an attesting witness in proof of the execution of any document, not being a will, which has been registered in accordance with the provisions of the Indian Registration Act, 1908, 16 of 1908. Unless its execution by the person by whom it purports to have been executed is specifically denied. 68. Proof where no attesting witness found. If no such attesting witness can be found, it must be proved that the attestation of one attesting witness at least is in his handwriting, and that the signature of the person executing the document is in the handwriting of that person. 69. Admission of execution by party to attested document. The admission of a party to an attested document of its execution by himself shall be sufficient proof of its execution as against him, though it be a document required by law to be attested. 70. Proof when attesting witness denies execution. If the attesting witness denies or does not recollect the execution of the document, its execution may be proved by other evidence. 71. Proof of document not required by law to be attested. An attested document not required by law to be attested may be proved as if it was unattested. 72. Comparison of signature, writing or seal with others admitted or proved. 1. In order to ascertain whether a signature, writing or seal is that of the person by whom it purports to have been written or made, any signature, writing, or seal admitted or proved to the satisfaction of the court to have been written or made by that person may be compared with the one which is to be proved, although that signature, writing or seal has not been produced or proved for any other purpose. 2. The court may direct any person present in court to write any words or figures for the purpose of enabling the court to compare the words or figures so written with any words or figures alleged to have been written by such person. 3. This section applies also, with any necessary modifications, to finger impressions. 73. Proof as to verification of digital signature. In order to ascertain whether a digital signature is that of the person by whom it purports to have been affixed, the court may direct a. That person or the controller or the certifying authority to produce the digital signature certificate. B. Any other person to apply the public key listed in the digital signature certificate and verify the digital signature purported to have been affixed by that person. Public documents. 74. Public and private documents. 1. The following documents are public documents. A. Documents forming the acts, or records of the acts. I. Of the sovereign authority. E. Of official bodies and tribunals, and E. Of public officers, legislative, judicial and executive of India or of a foreign country. B. Public records kept in any state or union territory of private documents. 2. All other documents except the documents referred to in subsection 1 are private. 75. Certified copies of public documents. Every public officer having the custody of a public document, which any person has a right to inspect, shall give that person on demand a copy of it on payment of the legal fees therefor, together with a certificate written at the foot of such copy that it is a true copy of such document or part thereof, as the case may be. And such certificate shall be dated and subscribed by such officer with his name and his official title, and shall be sealed, whenever such officer is authorized by law to make use of a seal. And such copies so certified shall be called certified copies. Explanation. Any officer who, by the ordinary course of official duty, is authorized to deliver such copies, shall be deemed to have the custody of such documents within the meaning of this section. 76. Proof of documents by production of certified copies. Such certified copies may be produced in proof of the contents of the public documents or parts of the public documents of which they purport to be copies. 77. Proof of other official documents. The following public documents may be proved as follows. A. Acts, orders or notifications of the central government in any of its ministries and departments or of any state government or any department of any state government or union territory. Administration. I. By the records of the departments, certified by the head of those departments respectively, or E. By any document purporting to be printed by order of any such government. B. The proceedings of Parliament or a state legislature, by the journals of those bodies respectively, or by published acts or abstracts, or by copies purporting to be printed by order of the government concerned. C. Proclamations, orders or regulations issued by the President of India or the Governor of a state or the Administrator or Lieutenant Governor of a Union Territory. By copies or extracts contained in the Official Gazette. D. The acts of the executive or the proceedings of the legislature of a foreign country, by journals published by their authority, or commonly received in that country as such, or by a copy certified under the seal of the country or sovereign, or by a recognition thereof in any central act. A. The proceedings of a municipal or local body in a state, by a copy of such proceedings, certified by the legal keeper thereof, or by a printed book purporting to be published by the authority of such body. F. Public documents of any other class in a foreign country, by the original or by a copy certified by the legal keeper thereof, with a certificate under the seal of a notary public, or of an Indian consul or diplomatic agent, that the copy is duly certified by the officer having the legal custody of the original, and upon proof of the character of the document according to the law of the foreign country. Presumptions as to documents. 78. Presumption as to genuineness of certified copies. 1. The court shall presume to be genuine every document purporting to be a certificate, certified copy or other document, which is by law declared to be admissible as evidence of any particular fact and which purports to be duly certified by any officer of the central government or of a state government, provided that such document is substantially in the form and purports to be executed in the manner directed by law in that behalf. 2. The court shall also presume that any officer by whom any such document purports to be signed or certified, held, when he signed it, the official character which he claims in such paper. 79. Presumption as to documents produced as record of evidence, etc. Whenever any document is produced before any court, purporting to be a record or memorandum of the evidence, or of any part of the evidence, given by a witness in a judicial proceeding or before any officer authorized by law to take such evidence or to be a statement or confession by any prisoner or accused person, taken in accordance with law, and purporting to be signed by any judge or magistrate, or by any such officer as aforesaid, the court shall presume that I. The document is genuine. E. Any statements as to the circumstances under which it was taken, purporting to be made by the person signing it, are true, and E. Such evidence, statement or confession was duly taken. 80. Presumption as to gazettes, newspapers, and other documents. The court shall presume the genuineness of every document purporting to be the official gazette, or to be a newspaper or journal, and of every document purporting to be a document directed by any law to be kept by any person, if such document is kept substantially in the form required by law and is produced from proper custody. Explanation. For the purposes of this section and section 92, document is said to be in proper custody if it is in the place in which and looked after by the person with whom such document is required to be kept. But no custody is improper if it is proved to have had a legitimate origin, or if the circumstances of the particular case are such as to render that origin probable. 81. Presumption as to gazettes in electronic or digital record. The court shall presume the genuineness of every electronic or digital record purporting to be the official gazette, or purporting to be electronic or digital record directed by any law to be kept by any person, if such electronic or digital record is kept substantially in the form required by law and is produced from proper custody. Explanation. For the purposes of this section and section 93, electronic records are said to be in proper custody if they are in the place in which and looked after by the person with whom such document is required to be kept, but no custody is improper if it is proved to have had a legitimate origin, or the circumstances of the particular case are such as to render that origin probable. 82. Presumption as to maps or plans made by authority of government. The court shall presume that maps or plans purporting to be made by the authority of the central government or any state government were so made, and are accurate, but maps or plans made for the purposes of any cause must be proved to be accurate. 83. Presumption as to collections of laws and reports of decisions. The court shall presume the genuineness of every book purporting to be printed or published under the authority of the government of any country, and to contain any of the laws of that country, and of every book purporting to contain reports of decisions of the courts of such country. 84. Presumption as to powers of attorney. The court shall presume that every document purporting to be a power of attorney, and to have been executed before, and authenticated by, a notary public, or any court, judge, magistrate, Indian consul or vice-consul, or representative of the central government, was so executed and authenticated. 85. Presumption as to electronic agreements. The court shall presume that every electronic record purporting to be an agreement containing the electronic or digital signature of the parties was so concluded by affixing the electronic or digital signature of the parties. 86. Presumption as to electronic records and electronic signatures. 1. In any proceeding involving a secure electronic record, the court shall presume, unless contrary is proved, that the secure electronic record has not been altered since the specific point of time to which the secure status relates. 2. In any proceeding involving secure electronic signature, the court shall presume, unless the contrary is proved, that a. The secure electronic signature is affixed by subscriber with the intention of signing or approving the electronic record. b. Except in the case of a secure electronic record or a secure electronic signature, nothing in this section shall create any presumption relating to authenticity and integrity of the electronic record or any electronic signature. 87. Presumption as to electronic signature certificates. The court shall presume, unless contrary is proved, that the information listed in an electronic signature certificate is correct, except for information specified as subscriber information which has not been verified, if the certificate was accepted by the subscriber. 88. Presumption as to certified copies of foreign judicial records. 1. The court may presume that any document purporting to be a certified copy of any judicial record of any country beyond India is genuine and accurate, if the document purports to be certified in any manner which is certified by any representative of the central government in or for such country to be the manner commonly in use in that country for the certification of copies of judicial records. 2. An officer who, with respect to any territory or place outside India, is a political agent therefore, as defined in Clause 43 of Section 3 of the General Clauses Act, 1897, 10 of 1897, shall, for the purposes of this section, be deemed to be a representative of the central government in and for the country comprising that territory or place. 89. Presumption as to books, maps and charts. The court may presume that any book to which it may refer for information on matters of public or general interest, and that any published map or chart, the statements of which are relevant facts, and which is produced for its inspection, was written and published by the person, and at the time and place, by whom or at which it purports to have been written or published. 90. Presumption as to electronic messages. The court may presume that an electronic message, forwarded by the originator through an electronic mail server to the addressee to whom the message purports to be addressed, corresponds with the messages fed into his computer for transmission. But the court shall not make any presumption as to the person by whom such message was sent. 91. Presumption as to due execution, etc., of documents not produced. The court shall presume that every document, called for and not produced after notice to produce, was attested, stamped and executed in the manner required by law. 92. Presumption as to documents 30 years old. Where any document, purporting or proved to be 30 years old, is produced from any custody which the court in the particular case considers proper, the court may presume that the signature and every other part of such document, which purports to be in the handwriting of any particular person, is in that person's handwriting, and in the case of a document executed or attested, that it was duly executed and attested be the persons by whom it purports to be executed and attested. Explanation. The explanation to Section 80 shall also apply to this section. Illustrations. A has been in possession of landed property for a long time. He produces from his custody deeds relating to the land showing his titles to it. The custody shall be proper. B. Produces deeds relating to landed property of which he is the mortgagee. The mortgager is in possession. The custody shall be proper. C. A connection of B produces deeds relating to lands in B's possession, which were deposited with him by B for safe custody. The custody shall be proper. 93. Presumption as to electronic records 5 years old. Where any electronic record, purporting or proved to be 5 years old, is produced from any custody which the court in the particular case considers proper, the court may presume that the electronic signature which purports to be the electronic signature of any particular person was so affixed by him or any person authorized by him in this behalf. Explanation. The explanation to Section 81 shall also apply to this section.